Yo, everybody, Waterbear here with a quick message. I've been thinking a lot about fasting. That's been like on my mind a lot. I've been seeing it a lot. And then today, someone I follow, I posted it on my Instagram story, so check it out. Posted about fasting and has so much amazing information about fasting. He's been fasting as well, and literally like the past 2 days, my body just hasn't been craving food. And a family member asked like, "Why aren't you eating?" And I was like, "My body's just kind of going through its like random fast thing, like randomly this past 6 months, about twice a month, I will." The same thing will happen. I won't be craving food, and I'll just be craving lots of water with lemons, those lemon seeds, lemon water basically, and just craving fruits and that kind of stuff, and not really eating anything. Um, and his post really showed me like it's actually something that in the Hindu tradition they've been doing for a long, long time, and just a whole bunch of stuff, and it like connected so many dots where I was like, oh my god, like my body's been kind of doing this, so now I have this information about it. Let me actually make this a practice. So I'm really excited to get into it. I just learned about it, so I haven't sat down and actually like read on it and that kind of thing to like get my understanding. But I saw his post and I was like, oh my god, this makes sense. It's like perfect alignment, all this stuff. And so I was thinking about fasting, and I was like, well, it's interesting that you know this happens to me kind of naturally. And I noticed that I was thinking about like when I'm processing something or meditating on something or really healing something on a certain day, I don't crave anything. I don't really crave any food. You know what I mean? I noticed that, and he was posting as well about the benefits of fasting. And I noticed that when I do fast or when I haven't eaten, my spiritual connection is way stronger. I'm able to tap into my subconscious stronger. I'm able to clear my mind easier. My body's at rest more because I don't have all this extra food, influencing me, and extra energies and stuff influencing me. Um, and I feel more centered, and I receive like downloads. I'm really receiving information and connecting to my higher self and spirit, and it's always been easier. And I've been doing this for years. Literally anytime I would be going through something and I wanted to process what the best thing to do, or there's an emotion that came up and I needed to process it, I would just make tea and like get in the tub and soak and figure it out. Or even with dance, if there's like a big performance, my body won't eat. It just needs to focus and put all its energy on the movement. And this is something I can't really control. My body just kind of does it. And so I was thinking, like, what is this? Clearly that's a spiritual benefit of there's spiritual benefits of fasting. And I was thinking that this is one of them. You know what I mean? Fasting helps because it connects you to spirit and allows you to really tap into your subconscious, to really process things and to really get in alignment again. Okay. So I was thinking, and I was like, it's interesting that well, think about this. I'm trying to process the best way to say this. Mercury's in Pisces, y'all, so my mind is not working as fast as it was a couple days ago. But I was thinking, and I was like, a lot of times in life, you lose your appetite. You know what I mean? Or there's situations where you don't want to eat. And what if your body's like, look, I'm doing this. It's already doing it on its own. Maybe you losing your appetite for a certain time is not anything wrong. It's literally your body's like, look, you need to sit, close those eyes, meditate, and close and tap in this moment. When I was judging dance competitions, the first year I did it, I was so nervous and I would not eat. And then I was losing weight because I was doing a lot of weekends. But looking back, it's like I was anxious and nervous. In society, usually people kind of suppress their emotions and don't focus on that. But in what we're supposed to be doing is listening to our emotions, and our emotions are messages for us. So if I was who I am now back then, I would wake up. Let's say I woke up anxious about judging. I would take my time, sit, process those feelings, process why am I anxious, where is this coming from, and get through it. You know what I mean? Back then, I just drank ginger tea and tried to like move through it. And I didn't process my anxiety about the situation. You know what I mean? And eventually, I got used to it, and it was fine. But um, what if when you're losing your appetite, when you don't want to eat, it's because you're in a situation where your body's like, look, close those eyes, tap in, and process. You know what I mean? I always feel like when you're up at night, you have insomnia, you can't sleep. What are you actually thinking about? Because you're supposed to be processing. What if you're not? What if you're not supposed to be asleep? What if spirit's like, look, I have this message I need to process to you. I have this guidance I need to send you. There's certain emotions that you can't continue holding. So you need to not sleep so you can think about it. You know what I mean? That's kind of um, what if that's the case? So then I was just thinking about with all this fasting, and I've been thinking about all day. It's like, what if when we're not eating, that's our body going into a natural fast? You know what I'm saying? Not because something's wrong, but it's like, look, you're anxious right now. I'm gonna stop your eating so you can figure it out. You know what I mean? Um, and or whatever the reason you're not eating. You're in a tough situation, or you lost your appetite through something, or whatever. You know what I mean? What if again there's deeper meaning to it? It's because your body knows the benefits of fasting. It knows the benefits and how you connect more when you're not full of food. You know what I mean? And so it makes that happen. Think about as well when you're sick, you lose your appetite a good bit. Your body needs you to slow down. And a lot of times sickness and illness has a lot to do with your body telling you, hey, we need to make a pause. You know what I mean? It's time to rest. Our society is constantly going, 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 going. But that's the opposite of nature. Everything in nature has seasons. And so your body's like, look, we're going to take a season of pause and rest right now. I don't care if you want to or not. We're going to get ourselves sick, so you're going to sit down. You know what I mean? And so I was just thinking about, thinking about the deeper meaning of certain things that happen. Because with fasting, it's spoken on a good bit, and now I'm getting even more information about it from a more spiritual perspective and a more ancient perspective. I love looking back to what was done back in the day. You know what I mean? Not just back in our day, but like the ancients. You know what I mean? Because they know what they were doing, and so it's amazing to learn about fasting in this way. And I'm excited to get even more into what is on my Instagram story. Check that out. But um, it's interesting as well to look at it from a perspective of the natural abilities, and when your body doesn't crave food, why is that happening? And yesterday, notice I wasn't craving food. Notice I made that post on YouTube about the Mercury in Pisces reflection and how I had been reflecting all day and putting so many pieces together, and I was so much more emotionally free because of the situation I was in yesterday and meditating and going through that. That's all timing, you know what I mean? I woke up not craving food, so maybe I wouldn't have had that deep introspection yesterday that I did if I would have eaten. You know what I mean? So that's that. So I just wanted to bring this to you guys. Thought it was interesting. I was just thinking about it like, fasting, your body kind of does it on its own. You know what I mean? And so that's the spiritual perspective of it. Maybe when you're not eating, your body needs you to be meditating. It needs you to be connecting more to itself. You know what I mean? So something I was thinking about, wanting to share as usual. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Water Bear is out.